Right, hello, I'm Professor Shishir Saxena. I teach courses on philosophy, on Sanskrit at the School of Arts and Sciences. I'm also the minor advisor for the minor in Sanskrit studies. And in this short video, I'll tell you a little bit about the minor, and I'll tell you about the introductory course on Sanskrit that we're going to be offering in the winter of 2024. A little bit about the minor, first of all. The minor in Sanskrit studies has a twofold aim. The first really is for students to be able to enable students to be able to scholastically study the Sanskrit language. It's not about being able to converse in Sanskrit. Primarily, our view is really to enable students to be able to start studying the Sanskrit language from a level of complete beginner. So you're a complete novice, you don't know anything about Sanskrit, and we want to bring you to a particular point where you can actually start reading complex literary texts in Sanskrit. And the other second aim of the minor in Sanskrit studies, and that's why it's a minor in Sanskrit studies, is to also familiarize students with several Sanskritic intellectual traditions. So there are several traditions of Sanskrit, such as darśanaśāstra, alankara, dharmashastra. There are several traditions, intellectual traditions of Sanskrit, and we want to familiarize students with both. So the aim of the minor is both. One, to help you, to teach you how to read Sanskrit texts, and also to familiarize you with the intellectual tradition in which all of these Sanskritic works have been written. And keeping this in mind, this is how the minor has been structured. Students will take two introductory courses in Sanskrit grammar. This is where you learn syntax, morphology. You will learn these kind of basic aspects of Sanskrit grammar. That's your first year of Sanskrit. In the second year of Sanskrit, students will start reading scholastic texts in Sanskrit. So you will start reading texts like the Rāmāyaṇa. So for instance, there's Sanskrit 3 right now going on, Sanskrit 4. We read texts like the Rāmāyaṇa. We read texts which could be a philosophical text, for instance, in Sanskrit as well. So that's the aim. In your first year, you do Sanskrit grammar. In your second year, you start reading original Sanskrit texts. And the other two courses, you need to take 6 courses for the minor. You need to do 2 more courses, one each in Indian philosophy and 1 course in Indian history. And that's an overview of what I was just telling you about. There are 4 courses which are going to be core. These are your 4 core courses. The Sanskrit grammar courses are core, which are the first 2 courses, the 101 and the 102. That's your first year where you are doing Sanskrit grammar. After that, you have 201 and 202. These are now where you're reading Sanskrit texts, the elementary and the intermediate, which will be the 12 credits for the core. And you have 2 credits which you pick from the basket of courses. Right now, we don't really have too many courses in Indian philosophy. We have 1, which is the Introduction to Indian Philosophy, and 1 in the Indian history basket, which is out of 2, we have HST 102, which is Birth and Development of Civilizations in the Indian subcontinent, and we have a new course which will be offered in the next semester, which will be the sources of Indian tradition. So you pick any of this. This is the structure of the minor in Sanskrit studies. And what I'm here to tell you about is a little bit about the course which is going to be offered in the winter of 2024. Sanskrit 101 is currently underway. That's the first course of Sanskrit. You can now, so we will have the second course of Sanskrit, Sanskrit 102. 102 is going to begin from where 101 ends. That's where so students pick up from there. The aim now in 102 is going to complete the remaining aspects of Sanskrit grammar and allow students to begin their study of texts in 201. That's really where we're leading up to. We're leading up to the third course where we will straight away get immersed into an original text like the Rāmāyaṇa. And therefore, the prerequisite for Sanskrit 102, the one which is going to be offered now in the winter, is Sanskrit 101, SAN 101. Now, one quick point here. I have had a few students come up to me and tell me that they were unable to take 101, but they're very, very keen to study Sanskrit, and they would like to come into 102 even though they haven't done 101. Now, please bear in mind 102 picks up from where 101 ends, so 101 really is a prerequisite. But if you think you're very keen on doing 102, we can possibly think about it. There may be ways and means we could enable you, but this will have to be on a case-by-case basis, and I encourage students to write to me. Write to me, we can still have a talk, we can talk about this, but in general, for 102, the prerequisite is going to be 101. And the instructor for the course is going to be me. I will be teaching the same course, and we'll take it forward from there. All right, that's about it. Thank you very much.